Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about why I'm done slashing in NBA2K20. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this video to 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. We got a lot of different play styles going on in this one, so just keep that in mind. These guys are going to be running pick and roll. We're letting AK run a form of ISO, as well as me do my style of quote-unquote paint mash in 2K20. So this is exactly what we're here to talk about. Just keep in mind the lineups and stuff like that too. You can see they have the play shot at the 1, paint beast at the 2. He's only a 91 overall, so do keep that in mind when I talk about me slashing right at his head, right? And we got a lot of stuff to talk about in this one. Like I said, I do really hope you guys enjoy this one. But anyway, as far as our lineups go, as y'all know, we got Shots top 5. I call him AK. He's not on his offensive threat, the 6'1 PLAYSHARP this time around. He's on his two-way slashing playmaker. Now, I'm on the same build that I run with his 6'1 offensive threat, right? So whenever we run that, it's pick and roll. Our defense gets a whole lot more complicated, but at the same time, offense is obviously a whole lot easier with his offensive threat. We have the pick and roll option and stuff like that. When he's on the two-way slashing playmaker, that becomes a thing of the past. That's not even an option. So when you sit here and you look at this lineup, you probably just question, like, what do you even do with a two-way slashing playmaker and a finisher? Because keep in mind, when I made my build originally, I have 1 shooting badge, and I did run that earlier in the year. I ran a play lock and my finisher with 1 shooting badge, and we'll let the gameplay roll. But I want to talk about the problem of me having my finisher at the 2 as a non-legend, because like I said, keep in mind, we did run this lineup earlier in the year. Me and Dope would run the play lock with the finisher at the 2. No matter what their build was at the 1, that point guard could be 5'8" with like 25 interior defense, 25 block, and 1 defensive badge. And then they could have a 7'3" pure rim at the big man spot. It didn't matter. I was dunking on the pure rim every single time, because why? I can't go to the corner and just spot up to pull that pure rim out of the paint. So no matter what, if the only place I can score from is in the paint, well, that makes it so the only place the big man has to defend is in the paint as well. So if we ever tried to dominate their little no defense point guard at the 1 with AK over here, it doesn't matter because I can't shoot. But now that I hit legend, stuff like this works, where I can run with play locks, I can shoot wide open, I don't have any hot zones or anything like that, nowhere across the corner, wing, top, right wing, right corner, no matter what it is, I don't have hot zones. But either way, you can still shoot off Hall of Fame dimer, it's not that hard, right? So say AK did pass right there. If I bang the shot again, even more to my point, but since he didn't, I can't really speak on that. But anyway, y'all get the deal. The fact that I'm a legend makes it so I can shoot now. So not only have I sort of retired from the force it into the paint slasher play style because I hit legend, and y'all know I haven't really made videos on this type of stuff for a little while now, back in the early parts of 2K20, where I didn't really know so much about this two-way slashing playmaker ISO meta, where really you can do the exact same thing as me as far as this finishing goes, but be faster with the ball in your hand, be able to shoot from the top of the key, off dribble, type stuff like that. I mean, it's ridiculous, but either way, I can't really complain about that in this game because we're over here playing pick and roll where these dudes were dicing us up. I mean, you're gonna see, like I said, it was a great gameplay. There's a lot of stuff going on. These guys are running masterful pick and roll. We were either having AK ISO and me spot up from the wing, spot up from the corner, or you'll see later in the game my final situation all year, most likely, where I'm slashing and actually taking it at Big's heads no matter what, because I was just in my zone with the slashing stuff. And this is where we're here to talk about this stuff as well, because a lot of times people see the way I play, right, as far as the finisher, like the slashing play style. I'm pretty much here to talk about slashers, right? Like for instance, when I have 1 shooting badge, what do I do if I'm running with a play lock? Well, I can't spot up in the corner because no matter what, I'm not hitting the shots anyway. We can't run pick and roll with the two-way slashing playmaker. So what's left? If they have a 7'3" big in the paint, I gotta do this right here. I gotta just go at him all game. And if I get bad looks, we'll just put, like, you know, put the ball down, give it back to me. And this is where the legend factor comes into play a little bit. So I'm gonna spot up from the wing. AK's gonna ISO. He dots me on the wing. Big jumps out at me. You can see he literally jumps, but I did the wrong pivot move. I did a pivot instead of a jab step, and I was trying to do the jab because it gives me a really quick first step where I could like blaze by him. But unfortunately, I probably should have just ran right by him instead because he jumped. But anyway, all right, y'all get the deal. The fact that he had to guard me out to the perimeter right there is literally the reason that I get open in situations like that. Now, we have the flashy pass, right, where I try to force these to happen as well because it gives me crazy takeover. It makes me look like a complete bot, I'm gonna put it like that, because slashing, at least in my mindset, is not meant to be that stupid run straight at the hoop, hold down on the right stick, or hold down your X, whichever you prefer, I guess. But it's not meant to be that, in my opinion. That's what the epitome of inefficient, horrible takes, bound to miss situations happen. And the fact of the matter is, with flashy passer activated, the sooner that I can try to get a dunk opportunity, the better, because if I don't get it, then I don't get the takeover meter. The difference between me finishing that dunk and not is my takeover being activated right now, and me probably just, you know, continuing to ISO in the most perfect way that I can, because also with the finisher, Takeover is massively important to me in my dribble game. It puts my ball control above 70, allows me to do hop jumpers, all types of different dribble moves. Flicking down on the right stick gives me different animations, allows me to move faster out of them, all types of stuff like that. In case anybody doesn't know, the Takeover alone boosts my ball control and speed by 10, so instantly that puts me at 95 speed and 75 ball control, which is enough to speed boost, plenty enough to speed boost. And I really do like that about my build this year, where in previous years being 6'11", 7 foot, stuff like that, you know, the big meta was always 7'3", so what the heck do I look like running a 6'9", where I've always been the undersized big. Like in comparison this year, I would say 6'11", 6'10" is the ideal height. I almost, to be completely honest with you, I would rather be like a 6'8", to be real with you, like a 6'8" finisher, where I have crazy speed, more versatility on defense. Anyway, that's beside the point. We're here to talk about the slashing mentality and stuff like that, and just how running it straight at the hoop is ineffective, to be honest. Now, you're going to see him try to do it right here, where he's trying to hit me with a little baseline cheese. I'm not giving it up. I low-key did give it up to some extent, but get a nice defend right there. And this is where I want to explain, that was his only take to the paint all game. Why? Probably because it's not very efficient. And to be honest with you, they just did it in this low shot clock situation. It's not really the best thing to do. And the reason for that is because my build is a good interior defender. Obviously, I have really good block rating, interior defense, stuff like that. I just find myself to be a pretty good interior defender myself as well. Now, what I'm doing right here is that exact situation where I was just saying it's not an efficient and good take, especially if you don't know what you're doing. I still do it regardless, and I think what I did in this game was super impressive. It's very hard to do, and a lot of people will disagree with that. This is where we talk about the whole why I'm done slashing in 2K20, because a lot of people, they see this stuff, they're like, oh, you're hop stepping, you're contact dunking every single play, that takes no skill. And essentially, if I'm being completely honest with y'all, and don't worry about me, I'm not fazed by internet talk, but I've essentially been bullied out of, like, over the internet. I've been bullied out of they're like, stop doing this stuff, it takes no skill. But yet I have a whole fan base who loves watching me do this because they understand as a slasher, and they play like this themselves, and they understand this stuff is not that easy to just dunk on a whole paint beast every single play, you know, and just take over a game like I did in this one. But nonetheless, like I said, you're going to have haters no matter what you do. Even the play glasses and the play locks and whatnot, and even the play sharps, they all have haters as well. You know, AK hits a white right there as well with no dimer. So, hey, it is what it is too. But anyway, like I said, every play style, every player, every person in this 2K community is going to have haters. It's just, I feel like for the most part in this 2K community, when it comes to hating on other people's play styles, because you've never taken a step in their shoes. You've never tried to do this stuff that I'm doing right here, where, in all honesty, it is a struggle to just dunk on 7 foot plus Hall of Fame defensive builds with 90 plus interior defense, block, pogo stick, rim protector, intimidator, all types of stuff. While meanwhile, they know exactly where you're trying to score from every single play. It's just the paint. It's not hard to stop. I've stopped it every day of my life except for one, and I feel like that's well documented in my stream as well. Y'all know who. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. I got done real bad by a finisher one time, but that's it. Literally one time. And out of how many times I've played them, and that's another thing to talk about as well, where really it's pretty rare when you even play a finisher or a paint beast or anybody who just comes out here and does what I'm doing like this every single play, because they know that it's not effective, they know that it's not good, they know that it's not efficient. And truth be told, if a lot of the same people who hate on the way that I play in this gameplay had to do exactly what I do, where they're on a build with 54 3-pointer and 64 ball handling and 85 speed, to be completely honest with y'all, they wouldn't even know what to do. They would have zero clue. Like, they think this stuff is so easy, but it's not. It's not easy to just dunk on a 7-foot rim protector every single play. And honestly, even with this legend stuff, what most of them would probably do is just spot up in the corner, because that's easier. It's easier to shoot the ball with 11 shooting badges and 54 3-pointer than it is for me to dunk every single play like I did in this game and go 9 for 10. While I have 93 driving dunk, I have 30 like finishing badges and stuff like that, Hall of Fame contacts, the 3 fancy, all that stuff. With all that said, spotting up in the corner with this build with 11 shooting badges is easier to do than to just dunk every single play and go 9 for 10. I missed one shot and it was off the rushed flashy pass that I tried to just finish really well. Anyway, one little quote that I want to just do from Logic real quick. People telling you to stay in your lane can't even drive, tell you not to chase your dreams because they're chained to a 9 to 5. Let's talk about the first part of that. People telling you to stay in your lane can't even drive. That's the first thing I really want to talk about, is how people will sit here and tell you what to do and tell you that everything you're doing takes no skill, yet they would never take a step in your shoes and actually try it for themselves. And then if they do, they'll have that one game out of like 500 where they actually played well, and they'd be like, look at me, I did it, I did well, I did this perfectly fine. And then not show the other times where they went literally like 3 for 14 trying to dunk on the rim protector every time because it's flat out not easy to do. And while we're at it, another musical connection I want to make with this video. So on Encore from Jay-Z, he's pretty much threatening his retirement. He's talking like, oh, the people don't love me enough. Like, I deserve to be #1 in everybody's hearts. So like, if y'all don't show me the applause, I'm out. So obviously he was faking that, right? He wasn't going to retire no matter what. But honestly, I'm kind of on the same thing. I'm not really like done when it comes to the slashing stuff. It's just, I feel like there's no point in me doing it because I could go on. I actually did. As a matter of fact, one sec. Went on a 55-game win streak on the 1v1 court with my finisher the other day, but I felt like just the people weren't going to accept it. They weren't going to love this stuff. They were all going to hate on it. They're going to be like, oh, all you're doing is hop stepping and dunking on people. Oh, you're just like, I had gameplays against post scores, bigs, guards, whatever it may be, the two-way slashing playmakers. And truth be told, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage against any two-way slashing playmaker I play against, any post scorer I play against, and really it ends there. I think slashers and finishers and stuff like that are third on the little food chain when it comes to the 1v1 court. I think my build is still a very good build. Obviously, I went on a 50-game win streak with it, right? And I was super rusty. I haven't touched this build or this game in this style that I was doing with the slashing thing for quite some time. And then I hopped on that 2v2 court, was super in rhythm, was feeling like, you know, I was well trained and well in rhythm with like doing what I'm doing. And I'm completely honest with y'all, it takes repetition to be doing that slashing stuff. If you get away from it for like 2 weeks, something like that, you're gonna come back real rusty. Like, you would think it's just something that's kind of in the brain, in the sticks, stuff like that, but it's not, bro. It's not at all. You get rusty with that stuff quick, and you forget how to dribble on it, especially if you're over here playing on a pure playmaker like 6'5" all the time, and then you try to come back to this build and try to dribble on it, and you completely forget what you're supposed to be doing. But anyway, I'm not entirely sure if I'm done when it comes to the slashing stuff, but truth be told, we only have about a month until the new game comes out. When the prelude comes out, I'll probably be dropping content on that, and really the rest of my content I want to be reflecting on this year. I want to be talking about, like, you know, in revision, what was the best build in 2K20, stuff like that. Or I also have a couple other gameplays that I want to do, like the comp stage 3 stuff as we close out the year. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have noticed we went from doing the daily uploads to just doing, like, you know, one video every 2 days. Maybe I have a 2-day break in between sometimes where it's like one video every 3 days, but I'm trying to stay a little bit consistent. I want to get back to the, for sure, every other day, but at the same time, I'm not forcing any content out this time of year. I'm gonna upload when I feel like it's proper to, but I'm gonna stay on my grind to at least keep that level up. And I really do want y'all to know I've been grinding with this music stuff. If you haven't heard the song that I did, it was like freestyle on the Shook Ones beat. I have it, like, it's pinned on my YouTube channel. It's the highest thing that you can see when you go to my channel. So if you want to check that out and you haven't already, feel free to. If you made it to the very end of this video, put LA in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through. Like I said, let's try this 1 to 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. I appreciate y'all 100%. Like I said, if you haven't checked out that song, feel free to. I've been grinding at that stuff, man. I've been going hard. I have like 4 songs fully written now that I could actually put on Apple Music and Spotify and stuff like that too. I'm not sure in what order and what way I want to really like post them. I don't know if I want to do it on the YouTube channel first, or if I want to just drop them at the same time, or I got a lot of stuff to figure out with the leasing and stuff like that, and, you know, the mastering of the vocals and stuff, because I didn't do that on my freestyle or anything like that. I'm just rambling at this point, but this is what I miss doing. I miss, like, just talking to the people, like all you guys who mess with me, and I'm gonna just keep on doing it. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff that comes with the music stuff. You gotta do mastering of the vocals. I didn't do that on the freestyle. Obviously, I only did that in one take, and it was just with this microphone right here in the same way I do my videos. It is actually really cool. But anyway, when it comes to like doing the music full circle, I want to have my vocals mastered. I want to make sure that I have the beats leased where I can actually, like, you know, post them on Spotify, Apple Music, stuff like that, own the beat itself, and still get better with like the flow and stuff like that too. There's always room for improvement, and I'm working on it tremendously in this time between 2K21. But best believe, when 2K21 drops, or anything related to 2K21, like the prelude, the builds, whatever it may be, I'm all in on that, and we focused 100%. That music stuff can wait. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. And that, take it easy, man. Peace.